You got to give them something. And so they said, we're going to start a second constitution. The 13th, 14th, and the 15th Amendment and the Civil Rights Laws constitute a second constitution of the United States. 99.5% of all the people in America don't understand that. They don't understand you got two constitutions. The first constitution was the one that 1789 all the way up to the amendments 1 through 12, 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. That was written strictly and solely for black folk. If I get elected to public office, I'm going to go back to that second constitution and try to get those things that were set aside for black folk. And what was that? The radical Republican says that in 1860 in the United States Congress, that in this nation, black folk can either be one or two things. You're going to be slaves or you're going to be free. To be free in America as black people, you must minimally have 40 acres and a mule. And $100. That's where that saying came from. You must have 40 acres and a mule and $100. And but what happened after that was said, then you had the guardians of racism kill it. The United States Supreme Court is a guardian of racism. The Supreme Court is my primary purpose is to make sure nothing changes racial issues in America. That's why the United States Supreme Court has never ruled effectively to the benefit of black folk. And so as soon as they enacted the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the 15th Amendment, and the Civil Rights Laws. And the Civil Rights Law says that black folk must have certain benefits. They set up freedmen banks and everything else. But the United States Constitution came in and killed it. The Supreme Court came in and killed it. You ever heard of what's called period of Reconstruction? Reconstruction was? Between 1865, it was a 10-year period between 1865 and 1875. It was called Reconstruction. Now, what I tell black folk is that you should be saying, why did they call it Reconstruction? It was reconstruct. What do you mean by reconstruct? The first Constitution was a social construct that locked you into the bottom barrel permanently. Reconstruction that took place between 1865 and 1875 says redo the thing, give black folk a chance. And it's supposed to go on forever, but the United States Supreme Court jumped in and killed it in 1875. It only lasted 10 years. They came in and said, no, we're not going to give black folk anything. Set them free with no land, no rights, no privileges, no tools, no animals, no house, no homes, no organization, no education, no animals, nothing. And tell them to root, hog, or die.